Good day, everyone, and welcome to SpinPro 17 and the SpinPro 17 Matrix Calculator. Today, we're going to give you a brief tutorial on one of our systems. We have four dynamic systems that are totally unreal, very money, profit-oriented systems that you should be able to make a very decent profit and return each day. There are a couple of rules that we do have. As paying members, you will get videos to each of our four systems, video tutorials. You'll get written tutorials, as well as a money management spreadsheet. And of course, also, we tell you about targets that you should make, and that will help you to make the profits that you truly desire. With everything else, there's going to be time that you may have a few misses, and our system compensates for that. The one good thing about the Matrix Calculator is that you're able to set desired profits that you want per spin, and you have a set of five sequential numbers attached to each number of the wheel, giving you 6 total, that once you put in the inputs, it will automatically spit out the output of what your 6 numbers are, and you can use them for each of the systems. And the purpose of the Matrix Calculator is to, obviously, in case anybody's have this comment that the wheel tracks you, it cannot. It may look at previous numbers, but it does not know where you're going next. So let's look at a couple of important factors that we want to point out before we jump into this. Okay, as previously stated, you will get 4 training videos along with written training instructions as well as our money management spreadsheet. There's nothing to download, as you can see here, and you just log in and use for the unlimited amount of time that you have for your subscription. And we have a couple of interesting stipulations. One, we strongly advise that once you have made a profit of $20 or more, as you can see here, once you've made a profit of $20 or more, take a break, 10 minutes or more, and return. The wheel's not going anywhere, folks. But certainly if you have that discipline, the whole key here and the way we structure our setup is for you to get off the wheel as fast as you can. To make a profit, it's a hit and run approach. You make $20 or more, bolt. Take a break of 10 minutes or more. Sometimes people take a half hour or more. The idea is most people work for $20, $30 an hour. If you're clicking off $20 within 5, 10 minutes, you're way ahead of the game. I mean, certainly you should make a $50 or more within a half hour. That's without saying. And definitely you should be able to make $100 an hour. And if you're making $100 an hour, as we said here, easily clear $100 or more per hour. If you're doing that, you play 3 hours a day, that's $300. And if you're playing 30 days, well, you're talking about $9,000 a month or more. But what we say is try to stay under the radar. Okay, try to fly low. And we're saying this because you don't ever want to be in a situation. No casino wants to get beaten or wants to lose. And certainly, if you're making 10, 20, $30,000 a month or whatever have you, sooner or later, casino's just going to probably shut you down, freeze you, or limit you to how much you can bet or how much you can win. So if you can stay under, I don't know, 100, 200, maybe 300 a day, or a little bit less, you're good. Why would anyone want to give up a $50,000, $60,000 a year extra income, supplemental income? And you can certainly do that. If you made $100 a day, that's $3,000 a month. Okay, you're talking about over 30 grand a year. If you did 200 a day, it's 6,000 a month. Okay. And when you're talking about that, you're talking about $72,000 a year. Which job on the side for a couple hours a day, and you're actually not spinning for a couple hours. Okay, we say $100 an hour. You're going to make that in less than an hour. So that's the end of that. Okay, you can actually control your destiny by how disciplined you are. Okay, our money management schedule is one of the things that we talk about here. Okay, we have a money management spreadsheet, and if you stick to this money management spreadsheet that you get as a member, forget it. It's going to methodically give you a target each day, and as you go along, each day it increases, and not by much. The targets are very low, I must say. In one of our spreadsheets, the first day you only have to make $40. You may say that's nothing. Well, yeah, you have a whole day to make $40, but it gradually increases, and the highest amount you have to make on that is 127, I think, on the last day. But at the end of that, you're talking about close to 2,000 a month. Okay, and that's playing very little. So Without further ado, let's jump into this one of the systems. We've had other videos out there, and we're going to show you one of the videos you should have watched before watching this. And certainly, if you're able to do that, this video will give you a clearer picture of how everything works because of the first video. So let's show you that. Okay, so if you go to our website, www.spinpro17.com, there is obviously home, about us, training, and these training videos, once you become a member of our site and you get the access to the matrix calculator, you see you're going to have here, this will become visible to you as you're able to click on training videos and get them, as well as the written training instructions. Okay, now here is one of the videos on our front page that you should look at. Okay, roulette, SpinPro 17 matrix. If you click on this, it is going to give you a very good insight, okay, into how our setup it works, and that's just for one of our systems, if not the most powerful system. This other demonstration we're going to give you is, again, one of the four systems, this being one, and the one we're going to do now is a second one. Unfortunately, and then we say unfortunately, we can't show you the actual numbers, but we're going to improvise and show you what the setup would be and how, using one of the numbers, we're actually going to use one of the sequences from the numbers, but we're not going to reveal which sequence it is. You would want to sign up, and once you sign up, we're going to show you when you log into the matrix calculator how that works. Okay, so once you log in, okay, you will click here, simply click on matrix calculator, and the matrix calculator will pop up. Okay. Now, you're going to obviously, if you watch the first video that we recommend, you're going to see this in more detail, how easy it is to use the matrix calculator. So we're going to first put in a bankroll here of 1,000 units. And for this demonstration, just like the first one, because of the casino we're using for the demonstration, they don't have less than $1 bets. So your bankroll has to be a minimum of 1,000 or more because it's $1 or more. So you have 1,000 units. Okay, now we're going to set our adjusted desired target per investment. What we recommend for everyone, okay, is you start off with 2. Okay, now this 2 is not lit up. It's just showing you where to put it. How you know your calculator is set is when all of these columns will come up in zeros. So for this one, let's use 7. We're going to use $7 as our target investment. Now what we're saying here is we want $7 is what we desire per spin. Okay, as when we do have a win, that we should be able to make at least $7. Now there are times if you have a few misses that you happen to hit and you may not make that $7, but you're surely going to be back in the game because you're going to get most of your money back. But when you do, you're going to turn every spin into an automatic win, and you're going to see that shortly. One thing we do also recommend, do not write these numbers down and think you're not going to use the calculator. You're going to be in for a rude awakening, because as you go down further, you would see some of the invest amounts that were, similar early are different later. And it's because the calculator is compensating for how much ahead you are. Okay, and it's certainly a great thing. Now, for the system we're going to use right now, we're going to use odds of 17. Okay, once you have a miss, you drop the odds by 1 and you add 1. Okay, so whatever it is, if you have a miss, you're going to drop the odds, and this is saying 2. Okay, so you're investing 2 units per spin, but per number. Okay, and you have a sequence of 6 numbers. Okay, and that includes the wheel number. So your first bet is going to be, one number, and you have 2 units on that one number. But then after that, if you happen to have a miss, you may have 2 numbers, and it's saying whatever this calculator tells you. Okay, so if it's, you had a miss here, you're going to drop the odds by 1. So this will be 16. Okay, and if it's 2 numbers, it will be 2 units times 2 numbers, which is 4 units total. When you do have a win, whatever you get back in the return column, you put it here. Okay, you're going to put the total amount returned. Forget about the pay column. This is for different systems that do not apply to our four dynamic systems. Why? Because this is based on single number betting only. Okay, you only have one outcome. And in our case, we have multiple outcomes. Um, so that goes without saying. Now, the other thing we want to say is, again, the intricacy and the importance of having the calculator is setting your targets. The higher you set your adjusted target per investment, obviously, the investment amounts are going to be higher, okay, as you go along. Um, it just naturally is that way because you're asking for more per spin. If you follow our instructions, we say stick with 2. Later on, when your bankroll grows, you can go to 3, go to 4, whatever have you. You can actually go to 20. I mean, it's all up to you. I mean, some people don't want to use our system and they want to play black and red, or they want to play blackjack, or they want to play baccarat, or they want to play high and low, evens and odds. Certainly, odds are different, right? For evens and odds, you're looking at, well, this is set at 7, but the odds are even money. So your bets are going to be a lot higher. This is why we stick to the systems that we have, because you're getting value. Now, here's the one important thing, is your current spin. Once you have a number that comes down on the wheel, you're going to put it here under current spin. And in this box, the 5 sequential numbers plus that is going to show up. Now, for proprietary reasons, because it's not fair to paying customers, we cannot show you these numbers. Okay, because this is a demonstration video. When you have the actual video, you'll see everything. Because if you were to, see these numbers, then it would be wrong if you happen to pay for this and somebody's looking at this video and say, well, why am I paying for this when this is free? Obviously not. You would just enter like 0 is not one of the numbers is in our sequence does not include 0. If 0 comes in, it's a miss. Okay, we've purposely done that because there are times you have a European or American wheel, and our system is going to compensate for that anyway. But once you hit 0, what's going to happen is this box is going to light up, okay, with sequential numbers. So for this demonstration, how we're going to do this is we're going to spin the wheel a few times, as if you would normally spin to begin with, the first spin. And we're just going to choose one of the numbers that came down in the wheel in the last few spins. And we are going to use the sequence for that number, but we're not going to tell you which it is. We just want to show you how it works, and it's going to do its job regardless. Okay, so let's get to a wheel. Okay, so now let's get into this. So you have $1,000 bankroll, and of course for the calculator you have to take into consideration, okay, we're going to use a bankroll of $1,000, and the reason why is, again, this casino only allows for a minimum of $1 bets. So that means it's a minimum of 1,000 units or more we suggested you have to use, right? So if it was 50 cents, it's different. You would still have 1,000 units, but only a $500 bankroll, which is the minimum you can ever use. So 1,000, and what we do is this is just highlighted in a shade of 2, but it's not lit up. Okay, which means the calculator is not set. It will be set once you put in a desired target, desired profit, and then all would turn into zeros, as you would see in video 1. Now, we recommend you start with 2, hands down. For this demonstration, we're going to use 7. Now, by the way, this is the difference. Once you're using a different target, a higher target, the invest amounts are going to change. And that's why we say don't write these things down, because they change as you go around and you go along. And if your bankroll is exceeding the targets that you've won, it's going to protect your bankroll by keeping the bets very low or the investments low. You'll see that in our training videos. So for this specific system that we're using, the odds are going to be 17-1. Now, if you have a miss, and again, you're not going to use the pay column. When you have a win, you're going to put everything that you got back in the return column. The pay column is only for single outcomes, like if you're playing black or red, or you're playing a single bet, a single game, just one number at a time. And our sequence is based on 5 plus the wheel number, so it's 6. And you're going to be using each number as you go along. Now, that's why you're not going to use the pay column. Now, let's just say you have a miss here. Okay, what's going to happen is you're going to decrease the odds by 1. And this is saying 2 units times how many numbers. Now, since this is going to be, for this specific system, is going to be your second number. If you had a loss, it would be 2 times 2 is 4. Okay. Now, let's just say you had a miss again. It would be 15, but you're going to increase it by 1. After 2 misses, whatever investment amount says, you're going to increase by 1. Just remember that. For this specific system, which is called the split number system, whatever the calculator says for invest, you're also going to add 1 to it on the investment for the split number system. When you do have a hit, you go back to 17. Now, what our goal is, obviously we can't show you the current spin number. Okay, we'll be wrong. But if we did put the current spin number here, the 6 matrix numbers or the 5 sequential numbers attached to that will show up. And again, if you were somebody who were paying for this, it would be wrong for us to show this for free since you're paying for it. But let's jump right into this, and you'll kind of pick up as we go along. This is driving this, okay? So when you're using 2, these numbers, except for the first 2 rows, these numbers are going to be different, okay? They're not going to be what you see here because this is higher. If we set this lower, the numbers here are going to be lower, okay? So let's go to the wheel, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to force a spin. That's what you always do. You have to do that in order to get your numbers, right? So we're going to force a spin, 1 on red, 1 on black. Okay, number 17 comes down. If you were actually playing, you had the system, you were going to look at the sequence of 5 numbers attached to the 17, with 17 being one of them, but you were going to look at the sequence of 5 numbers attached to the 17, and you're going to start off with one of those sequential numbers, okay? And after you have played that number, if you won, you won. If you missed, you would rebet, including this first number, whatever it may be. It could have been 4, for instance. And then you would then add the next sequential number. Now, what we're going to do is this, because we were showing you, I mean, I think 7, we cleared it because 7 was a little bit kind of high. And it would probably not be as a great a demonstration because, you know, the bets would really climb a lot higher, okay? So, again, this is not set. We're going to use here, we're going to make this realistic. We're going to use 4 in this case. And again, for everybody, you're going to use 2. Later on, when your bankroll gets a little bigger, you can up it to 3, 4, 5, whatever have you. Because it's going to change this invest amounts. That's why we say don't write anything down, use the calculator. And the purpose of having the calculator is on a daily basis, if you want to change your desired target profit per spin, you would see how that works out and you would have the numbers. So the odds are going to be 17. And remember, if you happen to have 2 miss, that's normal. Normally, you would hit within the first 3 spins, 4 spins. If you have to go, you might end up certainly hitting within your first 6 numbers, which is your entire first sequence. Sometimes you may go over that sequence, and that's fine. You will keep it. You will start a new sequence, okay? And it's going to really pan out. If you happen to go through a sequence, you will start off with a new sequence, okay? We're going to show you that. So your first bet is going to be 2 units on whatever number. But what we're going to do is, since we're not using the number sequence for 17, we're just going to force some spins here, and then we'll start the clock. Okay. We're going to actually use the sequence numbers of one of these numbers. Can't say which one it is just yet. Okay. Don't want to say which one it is just yet. So I can just be fair. Okay. Not a big deal. Okay. So one of these numbers, okay, the actual sequence numbers is what I'm going to use. And our first play is for that sequence number. Okay, so it's 2. Let's put a time in here. Let's put the time of 10:33. Your goal is to make $20 in as quick a time as you can and get off the wheel and come back again. All right, so let's go here, and I'm going to choose one of these numbers and one of the sequence numbers that goes with that number. So I think we're going to start off 6. Okay, so we're going to start off with this. Again, this is the split number system. So our first bet is going to be 2 units on this split. Okay, just showing you how powerful this thing is. Okay, so 0 came. Now, 0 is just considered a loss, straight out. We don't have a sequence that correlates to that 0. Okay, it's just you skip over, it's a miss, and you go to your next sequential number. Now, this says 2. Okay, so you're going to rebet that, and then you're going to bring in your next sequence number that is part of the sequence of the original number you started with. Okay, so your total bet is going to be 4. Okay, again, you'll see this thing is just unbelievable. It will do its job in a quick time. Okay, 17 came down, excuse me, so you had a miss. becomes 15. Now remember, this is your third play now. You had your first two misses. And what do we say? Once you have two misses in a row, you are going to take whatever the invest column says, and you're going to add one to it. So your bet's actually going to be, oh, what happened there? It's going to be three. Three times how many numbers you're playing, okay? So you have, becomes three, that's going to become three, and your next sequential number with that original sequence number. I believe it's here. Sorry. Right? So your total bet is 9. Okay. And there you go. $54. So let's just see. Got back 54. Okay. Now let's look at the time. The time is 9:35, folks. 2 minutes. If your job pays you $20 or $30 an hour, I want you to look at this. In 2 minutes, you say to yourself, well, I had a couple of misses. No, you didn't. You won every spin. Watch this. You won this spin. You won that spin. You won that spin. You had 3 spins. You won all 3. This thing can literally win every spin. And here's why you won all 3. What did you ask for per spin? Your profit was $4 is what you wanted per spin. You had 3. 1, 2, 3. So you not only got back your 9, not only got back your 4, not only got back your 2, but you asked for $4 per spin. So $4 here, $4 here, and $4 there. All your money plus $4 on each spin is $12. Your bankroll should say, wait, I put the wrong number in here. What did I do? Sorry. There we go. Your bankroll should say $1,012. Why? 3 spins times $4 is 12, and all your money has been returned. Your 15 bucks has been returned, plus you got 12 back. You should show a profit of $1,012. Where are you at? $1,039. Folks, in 2 minutes, you've made $39. Do you think you're going to make $50 in a half hour? I am pretty sure you will. So the people who are working for $20 or $30 an hour, hate to tell you this, but you just made your entire hourly paycheck at your job, no matter how hard you have to work, and then some in literally 2 minutes. So what you would do now is you would obviously close the wheel and start again, and that's what we're going to do. You would take a 10-minute break. We're not going to take a 10-minute break. We're just going to close the wheel and come right back. Okay, so we're back in action. So we have 1,039, and you just think about it as if you came back 10 minutes later or 15 minutes later. It doesn't matter. So your odds are now 17. Again, because you've won, right? So you're starting back. So let's put the time in here. I'm going to start off at 10:38. Okay, so pretend it was a 10-minute break. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start off doing what we normally do. You're going to force a spin, and that first number that comes down, which is 8, you're going to put 8 right into here, and once you put it into there, it's going to spit out a sequence of numbers. Okay, again, we can't show it to you. But you're going to get a sequence of numbers. So in this case, you will use the sequence for 8. And let's say that you have 5 numbers attached to that. So let's say 35 was one of them. Your first bet would be 35 and 2, if that was the case. But that it is not the case for 8. I'll tell you that right now. Because we have abbreviated our sequences and, actually restructured this the way it should be. Okay, so I'm going to spin a few times again. And I'm going to go cracking. Choose a number. Okay, we're going to start here. I'm just choosing one of these numbers in the sequence for it. Okay, so your first bet's going to be 2. And let me see which number I'm going to choose here. Okay, seems realistic. Okay, so let's say I'm going to start here with 5. Okay, so your first bet is 2. And you're going to go spinning away. 22 is a miss. So your next bet is going to be 2, which is a repeat, and then 2 numbers, the next sequence behind it. Okay, and 11, so you had a miss, and this was a $4 bet. Now this being, again, you usually hit within your sequence of numbers, so not really worried. So your next bet's calling for 4, right? Well, actually, no, 4. I'm sorry. This was 2 times 2 is 4. So it's going to be 15, right? Okay, so it's saying 2, and since this is your third play and you had 2 misses, well, it's going to be actually 3 because you're adding 1, and it's 3 times the 3 numbers. So you have 3 here, 3 here, and that's actually one of the numbers. So you have a total bet of 9. Okay, let's see what happens. 21 came. Don't have that. Okay, so now this becomes 14, and you play again. It's 2, and you know why this is 2, and it's not increasing. I told you once your bankroll is ahead, this calculator is going to protect you. It's actually going after. If you have a miss, it's only going to make you bet what your exceeding was. Okay, as far as going deep into your bankroll and tapping into it, it's going to go after your profits. Okay, to conserve and keep you in the game. So this is saying 2 again. Well, obviously it's going to be 3. Okay, so we're going to put 3 here. So we're going to make this, oh, it has 3 already. It's 3, 3, 3, and this has to be 3. So your total bet is 12. Yeah, this is just so sweet. You will make your money hands down. 28 came down, okay, because sometimes you might go past the sequence, and that's fine. Still saying 2. Well, this is going to be 3 again, because you're adding 1 to it, right? So we got 3 there, and let's see, what was that original number we started with? Okay, so we're going to go 16. Okay, here we go. So your total bet is 15. All right, and you're going to spin away. Okay, 8 came, happened to have gone through a sequence without, oh wait, actually, you still have 1 more left in that sequence. So now it goes, so it says 4. So you're going to add 1 more, it's 5. Now remember, this is, again, just like the 7, this is based on this target per spin. Had this been 3 or 2, these numbers would be different. This would not be 4 and we're adding an extra 1. It may have been 3. Had it been 5 or 6, this would be a little bit higher. Okay, so we're going to do 5 on each. All right. Again, not worried. You would be surprised. Okay, and believe it or not, the other number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, for that sequence happened to have been 29 was one of them. So I guess we're going to put that here. So your actual bet is 30. Did we cover the other one? Yeah, we did. Okay. So your actual bet here is 30. Kind of difficult that we're doing this without using, the sequence of the last number that came down. We're not worried. You're still going to make your money. Okay, so this is the interesting part. Because you have gone through, you're saying, okay, I'm down 87. I was down, you had already made your $30 in 2 minutes. We should not have been playing here within 2 minutes of that. We should have had a 10-minute break. I'm not going to blame it on that. System works, it works. So now we're going to 11, and it's saying 7, so we're going to go with 8. And now we're going to use the sequence of another number. Showing you this thing is still going to blow itself out. Okay, we're going to use the sequence of a totally different number now. As if what I'm trying to explain is, let's say you ran through your first sequence and then 25 came and you missed. You will then start off with the sequence of numbers correlating to 25, which could have been 14, let's say. Okay, so you would now start off with 14 and go through the other sequence if you hit or miss. So with that being said, we are going to start off here. Okay, what is it asking for? It's asking for 8. Okay, not a problem. We're going to be successful. There we go. And that was the sequence of what would have happened after the original sequence we used, and it finished, and we didn't hit. we would have started off with the number that we missed on to start the sequence over. So you spent 8. Let's see what your bankroll is now. Okay, let's look at your bankroll. The time is now 45. So in 8 minutes, folks, okay, actually in 7 minutes, and then another 2 minutes here, in 10 minutes, so within a half hour, you've made $103 profit. Does your job pay you $103 for a half hour in which you actually spent a total of 7 and 2, 9 minutes? Does your job pay you $100 for 9 minutes of work? What do you think is going to happen in a half hour? You're going to make $150 easily. You're probably going to clear out $300 an hour, and that's your bottom line. Is your job paying you $300 an hour? No. You play for 3 hours a day. There should be no reason that you should not make well over $500 a day. You're talking in a 5-day week, you're making $1,500 a week. And that's tax-free money. Okay. So again, we're going to do this one more time just to prove this thing to you. It's not a fluke. We've done it twice. And let's show you something here very interesting. I want you to understand something. You had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Would you believe you had 10 spins in those 9 minutes? And you've won all 10 spins? Yeah, watch. Win, 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 win. You have turned every single spin into a win. You can tell your friends, I've played 10 spins at roulette and I won all 10. And, you're probably looking at these zeros and saying, no, you didn't. Sure you did. You got back this 2, this 4, this 9, this 12, this 15, this 30, this 8. You got back every one of these. You've gotten back your entire $95. And what did you ask for spin? $4 profit per spin. So in 9 minutes, you asked for $4 profit times 10. Your bankroll started at 1,000. You should be at 1,040 because your calculator did exactly what you asked it for. 1,040. 10 times 4 is 40, plus you recovered all your money. You should be at 1,040. You're at 11 and 3. Okay? So what did you do? You exceeded by $60. Which bank in America, okay, or in this planet, for instance, is giving you this kind of return? A bankroll of $1,000, 10% on your money. And you didn't spend that. So what'd you spend? 95? You got 100% interest on your money in 9 minutes. The stock market ain't giving you that. So folks, just come over to SpinPro17.com and simply click on, just gonna log out here, click on your subscription plan. It's easy. Select the plan that you want. Sign up. You will get access to the matrix calculator. You'll get access to the training videos and the written instructions in our money management spreadsheet. And you'll be well on your way to making, if not 100 and more per hour, very easily, as you can see. We did that in 30 minutes, so certainly you could easily make over 200 per half hour. We hope this video was, informative, and we hope to see you as another valued and trusted member of SpinPro 17. Good luck.